feeling all kites. To put in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you get off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you the voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie up. The big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check and took off. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. Now the return, Rashad Green. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Texans scoop it. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Green to bring it back. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey. Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Detroit! Set! Blue 90!
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Hurry up, here we go! Green, 39!
Off-play action. Maddox. His throw incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Well, certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Operating from the gun. Maddox. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Looking to throw on second down. Maddox. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun, Maddox. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now Mack. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tashawn Gibson there on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Richmond.
Here's Watson now on second down. And Josh Hill has it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you guys didn't come out of the gate. I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
Well, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
They'll run it here. This is Foreman. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
From the gun on third, Watson underneath from Miller. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
They'll go with Foreman. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Elliott now to kick this one away. Green to bring it back. Fights through it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
All right, here we go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Over! Here we go now. 3-19! 3-19!
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
To To throw on second down. Maddox. And Austin Safarian-Jenkins has it. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, right at the 40. Operating from the gun, Maddox. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, second down.
Well, if there is a certainty in this game, we know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws into double coverage there, and look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete, but they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
They'll come up now with a clock showing 3 seconds to go here in the first.
Now let's go. 3:19. 3:19.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Maddox. A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. Alongside the former defensive back, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that'll make our score 14-7. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with Mack. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Tiger.
On second down, here's Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
A handoff to Fournette. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Here's a give to Fournette. And not much running room. Down to the 32. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Maddox. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun, Maddox. Going deep for Moncrief. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This fielded at the 2. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And the Texans set to come onto the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. A huge play there for Houston. 46 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Here's Matt. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Richmond.
To throw on second is Watson. Steps away to his left. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. On 3rd down, it's Mack. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Operating from the gun, Maddox completes it to Lee. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He'll rifle this one deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 51 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Now let's go. Green.
From the gun, Maddox. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Dante Moncrief as the first half is winding down. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Watson on first down. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Right back to him on first down. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
Now a carry for Mack. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. 30. The 20. 10. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And they will take a 7-point lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
The last one, that didn't bother you too much last time.
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And that one results in 35 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Come back, come back. Tiger.
To throw is Watson. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Enough to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? A shotgun snap for Watson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw on 2nd down. Maddox firing quickly here, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, 1st down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Blue 90! Blue 90! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
A handoff, Fournette running left. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And now running right through it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Maddox looking long for Westbrook. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Lambo on for the extra point.
No lead safe in the new NFL, but this score is really going to give them some needed breathing room.
Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. Left side, Hopkins. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 30 yards there. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. Watson now to throw on 2nd down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Dante Fowler in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? From the gun, here's Watson. And he's gonna go down again. Yannick Ngakoue in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. He'll have the win at his back here in the 4th quarter. And Elliott puts this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Watch it now, Barney! Set! 3-19! 3-19!
Right back to him on first down. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Running left, it's Fournette. And an alley to run. 20, 10, for touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there with his 19th touchdown, his second of the game. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of the credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes the Texans now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. On 1st and 10, Watson. He's going to air one out. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Out of the gun, Watson. He goes full extension, and he's got it. A good pickup there at 22.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw, Watson, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. Flush to his right. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. The Texans on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Watson operating from the gun. He's going to sling this deep down. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Barry Church. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5.
Here we go.
They begin with a run by Fournette. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Again, it's Fournette. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. Maddox. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door jar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Now Watson going to sneak it. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Elliott good with a PAT as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So here we go. They'll need the recovery, obviously, then a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On the run, it's Fournette. And he gets it down to the 32. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand.
right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the